It's that time again. Welcome to the More Than Just Dumbbells podcast. I'm Jason Lindsay.
I'm Kitty Truex. It's that time again.
Thanks for showing up, Kitty. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Welcome back. Thanks for supporting, subscribing, being here. Thank you very much. Sponsored by PowerBlock. Check out powerblock.com.
Kitty, do you read about, follow, watch movies about musicians? Like, I mean, other than like, well, let me start. Okay, we know you know a lot about Prince.
Yeah.
Have you read autobiographies on Prince?
Sure have.
Seen Purple Rain a million times?
Not a million, but enough.
Enough
to know the words.
Have you seen it over 20 times?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other musician that you know a lot about?
No.
Is there any like music? Okay. Have you ever heard of Jeff Buckley?
No.
Okay.
Talk to me.
All right. Well, the reason I think of him
Buckley,
is that
it sounds familiar.
I think there's these musicians. He's a singer. He played an instrument as well. So
Okay.
I would call him a musician, singer songwriter.
Got it.
But he had
Double threat.
He wrote he wrote songs, had an album or two, and
Cheers.
But it was most famous for, I think, and you can YouTube this, his rendition of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, Leonard
Okay.
Cohen's
All
not
right.
the best singer.
Sure.
Just kind of like Bob Dylan, right?
Dig it.
He's got Canadian Bob Dylan. He'd probably hate that he's dead now, but Jeff Buckley made that song. A lot of people have made that song
More popular.
kind of.
Okay,
I would
all right.
say, but he died tragically in Nashville in the river.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and so he never got a chance.
Recently?
1997.
Okay.
That long ago. But they're just about to make a documentary on him. I don't know. I don't think it'll be major motion picture. It'll probably be something you see on your streaming services. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why I thought of that. I think I thought of it because I think of how many talented people out there are that either don't take a chance
That you
or
lose track of.
that they die young for some reason.
Sure.
And he didn't die the
Only
cliched
the
way
good
that a lot of
die.
musicians die, which I hope I'm not being unfair to musicians, but he didn't like overdose. He wasn't even drunk when he went in the river swimming with friends, sober. He'd been sober for like a couple of years.
Wow.
And some boat came and hit him.
No way.
Yeah, imagine dying that way.
No way.
I wasn't there, obviously. You could almost argue maybe it's stupidity. Like, what are you doing in the river at night?
Whoa.
At night,
Oh.
but
Well.
then whatever, things happen. So Jeff Buckley gone, but not
Wrong
forgotten.
place, wrong time. Holy moly.
Who's your second favorite singer-songwriter?
Oh, goodness gracious. You're putting me on the spot, aren't you? Jim Morrison. I grew up really, for some reason, my mom was in love with the Flappin' Doors, man. And she would watch The Doors with Val Kilmer. I mean, I think Val Kilmer was a phenomenal Jim Morrison in that movie. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
But anyway, so for some
I
reason.
was a senior in high school, and we snuck
I
beer
mean,
in.
he's crazy in his own way, aren't we all? But at the same time, I just remember him being a kind of a big influence.
Oh, Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison.
Definitely gone,
Lizard
but not
King.
gone. Definitely gone, but not forgotten. Come on, baby, something. Hey, so
Try to set the night out.
what are we talking about today? What's the topic? Partners, like
Like you're
what?
my partner
Like-
in this podcast.
Yeah, so okay, could you do is a podcast better with a partner? Just like is a workout better
with a partner.
Yeah.
Well, doing anything with a partner. What are some pros and cons of having a partner?
So
Accountability buddy
So we
in your
want
pocket.
our listeners to spend a few minutes listening to us discuss pros and cons, things to consider.
Sure.
If you're like, hey, I'm gonna start
Couple
working
tips
out,
to start, beginner style.
or I want to up my workouts, or I need some motivation. I need I'm thinking of a partner.
Dig it.
I'm armed and loaded. Where do you want to start?
Here we go. So the CDC
Heard of
says,
them.
yeah.
Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. They like that. They like to
They
make
do
sure-
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
The CDC says that partner workouts are a very, very recommended thing due to the fact that they are motivational, they are more consistent, and they are more adventurous. Those are the top 3 reasons, says the CDC.
And I
just want to throw that down.
I'm glad that and believe me, I have no problem with the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. But they, but what do they have? I gotta say this.
Do they
right.
have authority?
Will they have any business analyzing workout?
I just said the CDC recommends.
Yeah. What they must have a division that's like, hey, anyway, no. So, anybody else recommend? Like, I don't know.
Well, I just thought that one was maybe the biggest name of recommendation.
So, they think it.
I recommend.
Read that
partner
again.
workouts,
They
sure.
recommend it. Why?
Because it's motivational. It's more motivational. It's consistent, and it can be more adventurous.
Okay.
The top 3 reasons.
I got more reasons.
I bet you do. Go ahead. Shoot them at me.
Well, according to some poking around I did in my own little brain also, yes, can help you achieve your goals.
Yes.
Can make it more fun.
Absolutely.
Can be less intimidating, which will maybe inspire you to try new workouts. Because it's not. Think about
so it's not just you going up to the weight machine. It's
or
okay,
you at the class at the gym or wherever.
For sure. Oh, I dig that.
Keep your form on point. Mm-hmm. Right.
If you have the space to say that, so segue right there. I mean, make sure that you find a partner that you feel comfortable saying, hey, maybe that you have that kind of back and forth energy exchange where you're okay with.
Glad you brought that up.
You know what I'm saying? Because
remind me a little bit because I have
right.
some things on that.
And your golf. I mean, no one wants
to. The competition could make you perform better,
uh-huh.
in theory. Related to that, support and motivation.
Yeah.
Keep your ego in check.
Oh.
Safer workouts. More variety, increased commitment. So I just gave 10 reasons.
Absolutely.
Those
are great.
Right. Okay. So then it becomes okay. So great. I'm bought. I'm
in.
I'm sold.
Yep.
Well, now who you find?
And what qualities are you looking for?
What I found interesting when I researched this, I'm not citing sources, which I know is probably, but it's the Google machine. I was kind of poking around, just getting my brain filled, and my favorite was find somebody. I don't know where they came up with this number. 40% more fit than you.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. So first of all, you got to figure that out. You got to measure. I think you're 37% more fit than me. I'll round up, but then what about the person that you're choosing? They're gonna get in the short end of the stick.
I mean, it goes both ways. See, and with some qualities, right? You want to kind of find someone who's at the same level as you.
Yeah.
Because if one of them is way above, it could start to feel like a trainer-client situation. And then also, are you going to choose a really good friend? Yeah. Or are you just going to have like a separate fitness friend? That's all you do with them. You know what I'm saying? Because good friends, are you going to look at someone and be like, your form's off? Or like with a really good friend, they're going to be like, oh my God. You're not coming over for dinner
it's
tomorrow.
Not what you say, it's how you say it.
Well, no, understood. But I'm just saying, do you have the space to correct? Do you have permission?
Well, so...
to constructively correct somebody.
But let's get back to the find somebody more fit than you quick. And then so like my nephew, who just turned 14 yesterday, happy birthday.
I saw that on Facebook. Nice shout out.
There's a little...
Colby?
It's a little backstory there. So he... I have a tendency to, for lack of a better word, serenade or celebrate people's birthday on Facebook by writing about them, what I know about them, all positive things.
Sure.
And I did that. I've done that for family members and friends, mainly family members. And he's new to Facebook, and he goes back and he's read everything I've ever. I don't know how far he went back.
Wow.
He probably went back to 2009 when I jumped on Facebook. So yesterday, I forgot it was his birthday. He did. I mean, I saw it because my sister posted something. So I go, hey, text him.
Sure.
Happy birthday.
Nice job, Unc.
And he goes, thanks. Hey, can you write one of those things about me?
Oh, no way. He was waiting for one, bro.
So I'm like, all right, well, this is...
Well, that's a cool talent.
So now I'm letting the whole world know it was solicited. But
cool.
He's a golfer, and he's becoming a pretty good golfer. And one of my pieces of advice to him...
I'm glad you brought up golf.
One of my pieces of advice to him was always play with people better than you.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, what happens when you become the best? I said, welcome to my world. But no.
Oh,
so... I'm kidding. But
kidding.
Again, so no, I like the advice, find somebody fitter than you, but
how is that? How's the other person following that advice then?
Right. So you got to find somebody who's okay with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get the advice, but it's also like, okay, well, the other person's getting gypped.
Yeah.
More importantly, I think that it's somebody that, number one, this may seem obvious, but you have to like them.
You have to like them. You have to be able to call out each other on your BS.
You have to consider them somewhat of a fitness role model.
Yeah, I can see that. Influential.
And they have to have a positive attitude. And they have to have a similar motivational style.
Sure.
Now, and I'm going to keep going here.
Yeah, well, please do.
They have to have similar goals, similar schedules, and you want to make sure they don't do stuff like excuses, have a high ego, do drugs, too competitive, blah, blah.
Trauma bonding.
We're narrowing down that pool of people really quick.
I was like, wow, this is a lot of criteria.
Right.
Man.
So this almost reads like a Craigslist ad or some sort of dating.
Totally.
So I've got the idea now, Kitty, and don't steal this. is that we need to create an app.
Fit Friend Finder.
There we go. If it doesn't already exist, and it probably does.
That's a good freaking idea.
Yeah.
Dan?
I'm on it.
On it.
Yeah.
Dan's on it.
I'm on it.
Dan.
He's got half the app written up in his brain. So,
He's that quick, too.
but I mean, and I know that we're having some fun with it, but that is a lot. That is a lot
it's
of category.
to think about. It really is. It's a lot to think about.
So, what do you think? I know I went that fast and furious, but what's the most important to you?
That you have a connection with this person and that you want to show up. Like, you know, like you said, they have the same motivational style, right? A lot of people that I've worked out with are more of like an obliger. Like, because I know someone's showing up, then that makes me show up.
Yeah.
So that kind of a connection where if you move, I move, you move, I move, because if someone's pulling all the weight, that's
I think the most important, if I'm going to give one,
Sure.
and it's hard to do because like other ones could make no matter. Okay, here's my number one.
Go ahead.
It has to be somebody who's going to be there 100% of the time, every time. No
Right.
excuses, nothing. They don't have kids that got sick or whatever. And I know some of these things are legitimately real. I
Sure.
get that. But somebody that just you don't have to worry about. They're going to be there.
right.
Now I say that, and if you're like, oh, I know the person,
Consistency.
I know that person, but they're kind of a d-bag or they're ego, whatever. Yeah, what are you going to put up with in order
that's a good way to look at it.
in order to have the consistency of that person?
What are your
and so
boundaries?
so if I can give any advice in this podcast, it's find the person you know is going to be there, and then just go, what else about them? Is there anything about them that I'm going to have a challenge?
Super problem
Yeah.
with. Yeah. Not problem, but a challenge. I like the way you
Yeah.
worded that. Yeah.
Learning from you.
I dig it. Hey, thanks. Pew, pew. Shooting good vibes at you. So yeah, just like I'm saying, there's a different kind of connection with someone that you can do fitness with, and it could be a great friend, it could be a family member, but also making sure that their consistency matches your consistency. You know, because the minute that someone gives the excuse or my kid has sick or blah blah blah, then it starts to go downhill because it's kind of like you've broken that vow or agreement.
Dan,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Dan, if you're paying attention, what's pipe in here? What do you think? I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but somebody who's going to be there is the number one characteristic, or is there other things that you think would be more
What do you
important?
look for in a fit friend, Dan?
I would say accountability is probably the number one.
Yeah.
The number one thing. I think motivationally, that's your responsibility. But I think that having somebody there that you can count on, that you know, and it's also going to help you to motivate yourself to show up.
And I wonder,
right.
and now that you said that, and that's awesome. Thank you, Dan. I wonder if I'm going to backpedal just a little bit. If you're somebody who doesn't need it, if your main goal motivation for a partner is not accountability,
Sure.
if it's like I just want somebody to be there,
Got it.
I'm going to work out whether they show up or anyway. Okay, then maybe. But I still think the whole point of this is that you work out together, right? So.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to chit chat, kitty cat during the workouts and stuff, right? You're going to want to kind of be friendly. So I think connection, but I'm much more emotional than you are, Jay. If you haven't figured that out, gentlemen, have we figured that out
Well,
already?
what do you mean by emotional?
You know, I just more emotionally wanting to connect to people.
Yeah.
Kitty has a heart.
I do. Ooh.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, grew 3 sizes that day.
Kitty wants to connect in a positive way. I want to channel my emotions and anger and rage.
Okay,
and,
that's
and
a
whatever.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a difference. Opposites attracting, you know.
Yeah. You scratch a cynic, you know what you find? A disappointed optimist. All right.
Oh,
So
wow.
anyway,
Yes. So some ways to start with partner workouts, right? So let's leave them with some.
disappointed idealist. Sorry. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. So if you were to start with a partner, like where do I even start? Do we just start going off on some weight machines, whatever? I would actually start with Tabata. We already discussed Tabata in a previous episode. Please
I don't
feel free to
remember.
go
I
check
don't
that
remember.
out.
Was there
But
benefit or
Tabata-
bullshit?
It was a massive benefit
I
because I've
remember.
been
I'm kidding.
crazy using it since, and I love it. And I do it with my partners because when you have that timer, there's no rep counting. There's no, you can actually connect to the person. You can kind of push each other through it that 20 seconds, right? Remember, it's
Find a
2 to 1.
partner and start with Tabata, but what kind of Tabata? What?
Well, you do weight Tabata. You can do bands. Bands would be cool to do like long bands simultaneously where you're both doing triceps at the same time with the same band kind of a thing. Just to try something different, as the CDC says, make it more adventurous.
Yeah, and so hey, I like this. So what about if you got a partner? You're like, nope, I got the person. They're my best friend or my whatever. This is going to be it.
We're doing it.
And you're doing it at a gym.
Yeah.
Short for gymnasium.
Yeah.
At a big fitness center.
Sure.
I think I would like to say, tell me if you agree or disagree.
I'll
Dan,
tell you.
Dan, you can pipe in too. you better go to that gym with both you guys knowing what you're doing when you get there, right?
I dig it.
Don't
Whether
just,
it be a
don't
class
just walk
or a plan.
It's coming from a gym owner, gym worker, gym employee. Just people
Don't
walk
just
in.
walk around and go,
I've
like,
heard
"You wanna
people
try
walk
that
past the
one?"
desk and go, "What should we do today?" Which is my personality too, but it's like on my own, I'm thinking it, what should I do? Then I
Sure.
come up with it.
Right.
But now you got two people that are like, well, let's do this. You spend 15 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to do.
That is a great way to do that. Almost like have the plan before you go in, so
Yeah.
you both know what you're doing. So you don't like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for
And
dinner?
now
I don't know.
you get nothing and like it. And nowadays,
Nothing and like it.
nowadays you can text, we're doing this, this, and this.
Yes. Or there's apps for that. There's an app for that.
There's an app for everything.
Dan, do you go in
Is
with
there
a plan, Dan?
is there an app for figuring out what apps you should have on your phone?
But Dan, get on that one too.
I go in with a partner who has a plan.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just follow
yeah.
suit.
Yeah.
So hey, now
Exactly.
everything
That is what is
everything
up,
comes back
brother.
to personality. You go, you get an orange and a yellow together. There you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Whatever that means.
Well, you get an organizer and an energizer together.
Yeah.
The organizer's
Apples
going to
and
have the plan.
bananas.
The energizer is going to be the fun person.
Dig it.
Yeah.
I'm the energizer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not the organizer, so we're not working out together.
So you and I would never work out together.
No, the only way you would have to channel as much organization as you've got and say we're doing this workout. I would have to agree with it. Now we're talking a whole lot of
That's a lot of hurdles.
low probabilities. So
Well, good to know. I'll keep my eyes open for my next fit friend.
Hey,
because I know it's not the person sitting across from me.
Here's the thing. This is as a runner, kind of runner. I used to be, and trying to be again. That's always fun to go run with somebody.
Sure.
It's less boring.
Absolutely.
Because the thing about running
Because you're doing the same thing. Going to the
outdoors
same place.
is you've got scenery. But that's great. But you've seen Lake Bedemakaka a bunch of times.
Thank you.
And so it gets a little bit redundant, and having a conversation would be fun.
Yeah.
But you got to agree to the same pace. That's the challenge there.
That's true. So you have to have someone who's
Yeah.
at your same pace
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So awesome, Jason. Anything else that you wanted to throw down? Do you have a My Story today?
Yeah, I do.
You do. Let's do a My Story. If you do have any testimony or you have used Power Blocks and utilized them and they have created change in your life, let us know. Shoot us an email. Can be anonymous. Don't have to tell us much about it. But just let us know your results. mystory@powerblock.com.
What else can they do at powerblock.com?
They can also check out our blog with cool recipes. They can check out all the videos of the moves to do with Power Blocks. And they can also find the world's most adjustable, awesome dumbbell on the market.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I just put
And kettlebells, too.
I just put together a
I know
sport
you-
bench with the dip attachment. I'm
Tell
at the
'em.
chin, and I've got the power blocks up there, 90 pounds. I got both kettlebells. I got the mat.
I need that stand, Dan.
Dan,
I'm on it.
So, powerblock.com. Oh, and speaking of the blog,
Please do.
a lot of good blog posts, but man, I really love the Joys of Cooking. I
Yes.
think that's really great. And by the way, if you got anything we'd love any feedback we can get. But
Yes, please.
I would love, because we don't have a comment section. A lot of people don't for obvious reasons. But hey, you can email podcast@powerblock.com. Tell me what you think of Joyce's blogs, the recipes.
Dig it.
'Cause I think they're great. I love my Power Block Sport 24s and the kettlebell. Those and a bench is all I need for my almost daily dose of strength training. I mix in a class on YouTube here and there and run 4 to 5 days per week, but having the ability to take those Power Blocks to the park or to a friend's house has been so convenient. Thanks, Power Block. That's all I got. Bia from Lolo, Montana.
All right.
I know we're
Sport 24s and a kettlebell.
right outside
Missoula?
No, yeah. I think it is Missoula, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Sport 24s and kettlebell. And running.
What else do you need?
You don't.
A water,
that's
a water
my,
bottle would help, but
That's my
not
jam.
necessary.
I love my Sport 24s so much. And my kettlebell. Oh, God. I work out at night now, P.S.
So, okay, let's talk about that and we'll call her quits.
All right, cool.
Why?
I've decided, okay, so it's just something that I've tried. My husband works out at the butt crack of dawn, and I've been trying to do that, and it just doesn't make me happy. So after my day is
a lot of
done,
hours between
after my
6
day is
a.m.
done,
and
after my day is all done, I put the rest of my energy, and I truly look forward to showing up for that workout, and then the going to bed is the reward.
So,
I absolutely love it.
works for you. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that there's other people out there that probably chime in. Say,
Yeah, dig it.
Hey,
Let
if
us know.
you email podcast@powerblock.com, tell us what time you work out and why. There's people that can't sleep, and there's people that can. I don't know if it's 50-50,
Right.
but in fact, I'd argue more people probably can just go right to sleep, or it helps them sleep. I would be the same way. If I worked out at 9:30, I'd hit the hay and I'd be done.
Sure.
I'm talking even just lifting without sweat, like without much sweating. Like if I just did 30, 40 minutes of lifting, I'd be like, all right, drink my little protein thing.
And go to bed.
And I go to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't do it because those days are long gone, and hopefully they never come for you. But I just can't. My lifestyle, I'm tired as heck.
Yeah. That's fine.
So, but I'm also not 6 a.m. person. I've said this before on the podcast.
You're like an 11er?
10,
11
is perfect.
Yeah. I hear you.
Now, if you have a corporate job, it's tough to do sometimes, but you can work around that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I say try it at night.
How long have you been doing it at night?
Probably like 3 weeks
Okay,
now,
so
in a row.
So you've got enough
And I've
of
been
a sample
adding that
size.
breath work as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did a podcast on that one, and I really, truly have been enjoying it. It has immensely added to my routine.
That's why you're more tolerable.
Breath work, baby. Dig it. So I'll see you next week.
Baby.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Peace out.